This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Friday, October 20th, 2023. I'm Kate Sharon. State officials broke ground Thursday on one of northern Indiana's most highly anticipated projects, a $100 million lodge at Potato Creek State Park. Governor Eric Holcomb speaks about why Potato Creek State Park was chosen for the construction of Indiana's first state park since 1939.
Like was described, a crown jewel in our lodge system, but it's also just a perfect patch of property to capitalize on what's already here. It's hard to better God's creation, but a lodge next to it is the next best thing.
The project will feature a hotel, conference center, indoor aquatic center, and more. The lodge has been discussed for decades with multiple starts and stops as state lawmakers debated the best means for funding the project. But this spring, with repeatedly rosy state budget forecasts boosted by billions in federal pandemic relief funds, state lawmakers built support for the proposed project into the state's biannual budget. New Albany-based Midwest Metal Works is growing its southern Indiana operations. One Southern Indiana announced late Thursday. The steel fabricator and manufacturer plans to invest nearly $1.4 million to add new machinery and boost training to increase production, adding 12 jobs in the process. Midwest Metal produces steel products for a variety of industries, including power generation plants, oil refineries, and food manufacturers. Indiana's unemployment rate rose 3.6% in September, up from 3.4% in August. The Indiana Department of Workforce Development said Friday the state added 7,300 private sector jobs over the previous month. The state's unemployment has risen at least 0.1% every month since the 3% mark in April. Despite the increase, the DWD says Indiana's total private employment stands at about 2.8 million, marking a new peak for the state. The increase in jobs last month is being attributed to gains in the trade, transportation and utilities, leisure and hospitality, financial activities, and manufacturing sectors. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Whether it's a new hire or a noteworthy promotion, IIB's Big Wigs and New Gigs serves as a platform to promote your team. Our revamped offering includes being featured on both the newly redesigned newsletter and at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. Subscribers to the Business News subscription save $10 off every listing. Plus, you can save $100 by bundling your submission to IIB with the Indianapolis Business Journal or the Indiana Lawyer. More at InsideIndianaBusiness.com.
Indianapolis-based utility company Citizens Energy Group has filed a request with the state regulators to withdraw its proposal to supply up to 10 million gallons of water per day to a planned advanced manufacturing district in Boone County. IIB's Alex Brown has more.
The move comes 5 months after the company's board of directors voted to form a subsidiary, Citizens Water Resources Holdings, to acquire, own, and operate water systems to supply water for companies that set up shop in the LEAP Lebanon Innovation and Research District, a planned 11,000-acre development west and north of Lebanon. The Indiana Economic Development Corporation is overseeing the development of LEAP. Citizens spokeswoman Laura O'Brien said ongoing discussions with the IEDC have resulted in material modifications to the initial filing with the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, prompting the company to withdraw a petition that was, quote, no longer reflective of the present situation, end quote. She also said the company remains hopeful that it can continue to work with the IEDC and Lebanon to build water utility infrastructure for the LEAP district. When asked about Citizens' request to withdraw its petition, IEDC spokeswoman Erin Schweitzer said that Lebanon currently has the water supply to serve the short-term and intermediate needs of the LEAP district, including 2 planned manufacturing sites from Eli Lilly and Company, which will be served by the existing Lebanon utility system. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Lawmakers continue to wrestle with Indiana's high healthcare costs Thursday, determining which state actions would be effective to strengthen a free market. 2 national experts testified virtually before the committee to share what other states had done and review options, but legislators seem frustrated by the need to take action. The Healthcare Cost Oversight Task Force will meet one more time to discuss final report recommendations on November 13th. Grace Theological Seminary is partnering with the Baptist Bible College in Serbia to open what they believe is the country's first evangelical seminary. The school is called the Academy of Theological Sciences. Its first 6 students are scattered across Serbia and the Balkans and will travel to the academy for a 1-week intensive. Untreated mental illness costs Indiana about $4.2 billion annually, according to a new Indiana University study. Those costs amount from things like premature deaths, Medicaid, incarceration, and lost productivity, the Richard M. Fairbanks School of Public Health researchers found. Premature mortality was the most costly and is estimated at $1.4 billion. Lost productivity tallied at $880 million, caregiving costs $566 million, and $567 million goes to private insurers. Another IU study said 2/3 of Marion County residents with a serious mental illness did not receive necessary care last year, totaling about 26,000 people. University of Southern Indiana President Ron Rochon is this week's guest in the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Kate Sharon for Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.